Good morning, everyone. We are going to discuss today about waterfall model in software development lifecycle. So, there are several steps in waterfall model. We are just take around and take overview about this. So, first we introduce about what is the waterfall model. The waterfall model is a linear, sequential approach to software development. What is mean by linear and sequential? It's a step-by-step and sequential process. Like first we requirements, analysis, design. This is step-by-step and sequential process. And each phase must be complete before the next begin. Means what? If we are analyze about the product and we the analysis of the output of the analysis is the input of design and output of the design is the input of coding phase. This is completed. Every phase must completed before next begin. And emphasize documentation and structure process means what? Every step has a documentation. Each every steps output documentation is the input of every uh, next step. Characteristics of waterfall model is it's rigid and structured model. What is the rigid and structured? Rigid means it is not flexible. Means we are going to do analysis part, and we are going to jump like on coding, jump on testing. This is not possible. This is the rigid and well structured. Means we do first complete requirement, then we are going on analysis, then we are going to design phase. And clear documentation means in analysis what we are doing on design, in design what we are doing on software development, on coding, in software development in this when it's this is like well documentation. Every documentation output is the next the phase input, right? Understand, guys? Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
And
yes.
this is
Yes,
best. Okay, best for project with well-defined requirements. Means if any organization have know what they want from this project, what is their requirements. Means they are not going to in mere sudden changes. So this is well best for well-defined projects only. There are the phases of waterfall models. There are several phases like requirement. In requirement, define the problem, identify scope of problem, and develop a plan strategy, solve the problems. In a requirement, there are several roles like including there are the business analyst, project owners, stakeholders, and also customers. And what was the task there? To gathering and documentation requirements and prepare requirement specification documents for a analysis. Next step is analysis. In analysis, investigate problem to define requirement necessary for solving, like define what we are going to do. In this role, there are system analysts are there, managers are there, and what are the tasks of them? They study the requirements, check feasibility, create system specifications. So they define what is the feasible plan for the solution. And the next step is a design phase. In design phase, this is a design a solution based upon how requirements define which how this is they are going. What was the task of design? They just design architecture and just they're making user interfaces, databases, modules. And what was the role in design? There are system architectures. There are UI UX designers are there. There are database engineers are there. If this phase complete, there are next step is coding. In coding, implementation, programming to design. In coding, there are the several roles like software developers, programmers are there in coding. We know. And what was the task? What was their task like? Write and implement the code based on the this design. And after that, there are the next step is test. In testing, there are test the program to ensure the requirements have been satisfied. What are the tasks are like? Perform units, integration, systems, testing to find bugs. And what are the roles are there? QA engineers, testers are there to test the product. And after all that, there is a after deployment, there is a maintenance stage. Fix or improve applications based upon the changes in the environment. What was the maintenance role are like support engineers are there, developers also are there, system administrators are there. So why the maintenance stage is there? To fix the bugs, provide updates, maintain performance and enhance features of the product. So there are several phases of the waterfall modeling software development life cycle. Is there any doubt or any question about these phases? Anyone?
No.
Okay. Okay. So there are some advantages and some disadvantages of this life cycle model. There, this is the we are going to on advantages. This is simple and easy to understand. This is simple and easy to understand because it's a step-by-step process. We know each and every step, what the step doing. This is well structured and documentations. Mean every steps has well defined structure, what they are doing, and the every output has the doing documentation. That is the reason this is very simple to understand on that phase what they're doing. They are doing documentation. This is very well structured and work well for smaller projects. Means if there is any small projects, so they just define with this and the every step for client they also understand what they are doing in their products. This is like this is very well for smaller projects, and there are the clear milestone and deliverable. Means every steps we can convince the client what we are going to do, and this is the step by step process, and those steps are included. Every step have a unique work, and they have, so that the reason this is very deliverable to and very the one of the way structure to deliver a product. And there are several disadvantages also are there. This is inflexible to change once started. What is means, when we start the requirement, we analyze, we code, we, so there are no any disturbance or no any participation of the client until this is not completed. Means the client doesn't interfere on this once it started. The client required one update, or client need something changes. This is not possible because they get requirement, they analyze the product, they design, everything do, they code, but this is not possible in between once it started. So this is big advantages of this life cycle model. It late testing and error detection. Means what? There are we do requirements, we analyze the product, we design and we code, right? The product are just completed, and when we are doing testing, so there are some bugs, there are certain problems. When the problems noticed, when we product is launched, but this is not easy to design again, code again, analyze again. Means this is the waterfall model. Once one stage is done, this is not easy to come back again on this stage. That the reason this is a waterfall model. So this is one of the big disadvantages, less late testing and error detection. Is understand, guys?
Yes.
Yes. Another disadvantage is not suitable for complex certain projects. Means there is a one of the project like we know some games in play stores. There are multiple games. So what the games do, they just implement their games, upload their games, and there are some bugs, there are some errors, there are something messy. So they required in between to update those things, and this is the uh, this is a complex project, but this is not suitable the waterfall model for those projects. There are big companies, Tencent, they publishing the big games like Some PUBG Mobile is the one of the product their products. So they what they do if they are going to launch a new game, or they are going to launch something new. So they just uploaded their beta versions for testing. They hands over customers the testing. So customer giving feedback. What was they facing bugs? What they are just lacking on this thing. So the developers work on them and they changes. So there is a no feedback in between the projects. That the reason this is not suitable for complex certain projects. This is suitable for well and small projects. That projects know what they want. This kind of projects. This is suitable. And one of our disadvantages is customer are only involved at the beginning, at a requirement stage, and the end, at deployment stage. Means what? Once customer give us a requirement to those company, they are building a product for them. So customers involved when they are going to requirements. They are not interfering on analyzing stage. They are not interfering on design stage. They are not interfering on coding or testing phase until the product are delivered, until a product are deployed. Once they are going to requirements, and they are the one after the client can involve the product after the deploy. This is the very big drawback of the waterfall model. Understand, guys? Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So what was the use cases of this waterfall model? There are government projects like the MSCB. So what they need, they are doing. They know what was their requirements. They want one uh, project where we can doing these things. They are not going to change. They have the fixed configurations. So government projects are also there. And banking and finance system also using there. Banking and finance system have well structured. This is so that the reason banking and finance also are using the waterfall model. This is very suitable uh, software development life cycle for banking and finance, and also the construction and manufacturing industry. Construction manufacturing industry know how the product they want, and also construction we know how construction working. There is a base, there is a columns, after there is a slab, there is a next uh, this is how construction build. So there is a step-by-step process in manufacturing plant also. There is manufacturing is the manufacturing line. We know how car was made. First there is a car's body come, then there are some engine are fitting on the car, then this is going to next step. So then they are just adding doors, adding interiors, then this is come to next line. This is how in manufacturing line is working. The step by step the product is outcome. This is how, this is the, and waterfall model is also uh, uh, ideal from manufacturing industry. Means manufacturing line industry. This is means one step done, on next step and next step, and just product is out. This is how manufacturing also used. So what was the conclusion of this waterfall model? This waterfall model is best for project with fixed requirements. Means they not interrupt and not does not too messy. This is for those industries only. They have the fixed requirements. This is best for them. Easy to manage, but like flexibility. This is very easy to manage because this is the like traditional one, and this is some of lacks in flexibility we can't do in between the project when started. This is still used in industries like finance, government, and constructions. Why? Because they know their requirements. They are fixed on their requirements. That's the reason steel, finance, government, and construction are using this software development life cycle, the waterfall model. So that is all for this. Thank you so much. If you have any question, please ask. Did anyone have a question?
Very nice explanation, Abhijit.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, you explain it very well.
Thank you, ma'am.